Hello, what we're going to do today is I am going to demonstrate how to make a sidewall, more specifically a window in a wall, all right? Some of you have already made possibly, like this would be a long wall that I'm going to show you today. This one has a door and a window in it. This is a short wall. It has a window and a door in it. So a lot of our plans will be slightly different. It all depends on your rough draft and what you've created. So I am going to do one of these walls right here, which has a window in it. Now, both of these windows are the same, all right? So the measurements are the same. So I'm going to do this wall, demonstrate how to construct that wall today. Now, so the first thing I need to do is you will be given two long sticks, all right? You'll be given two long sticks. These sticks need to be, or plates, better yet, they need to be cut to a certain length. We'll take our ruler and we'll measure. Since our plan says 32, remember we're drawing half scale, so they need to be cut off at 16, so mark both plates at 16 inches. Then what we'll do is, as I've showed you in the past, in the shop here we'll use a coping saw to cut those boards, or you can use any saw that you have available to you. So once you take and cut those sticks at 16, I now have them at 16 inches right here. So now what I'm going to do is, the next step that we've been doing all along is the first thing we need to do is mark out our stud placement. Line X, remember every 2 inches, we've been doing this all along, represents 16 inches on center. I know it doesn't equal out to the exact measurement, but this allows us to easily make our walls. Now, I don't mark out the second one because I can transfer that data to that wall. Now, the first thing I need to do is I need to look at my plan sheet and see where it starts. This wall starts over at 8 feet, so what I gotta do is I need to measure, think of half scale, so I'm gonna come over to 4 foot right here. Once I hit that 4 foot mark, now I gotta figure out how big our window is. Since our window is 6 feet, I need to go over to get our rough opening of 3 inches, which is half scale. 1, 2, 3. So this is our rough opening for our window between here and here. Once again, half scale, 4 inches where the window starts. Then from right there, half scale, which is an additional 3 inches. Now, knowing that we have it exactly laid out correctly, knowing that, I need to look at my sheet, and this will help you out a lot as far as how to build it, how to put stuff in. All right, so now what is our, on the outside, if we take a look at this, the outside of the rough opening is the trimmer stud, which is 3/8 of an inch. This is just like the drawing part. Trimmer. What goes outside that is our king stud. Now we come over here, we do the same thing. Trimmer stud and king stud. Now, once again, on the inside of our trimmer studs, we always need a cripple stud on the bottom of the sill plate right here. So we come over 3 and we call that a cripple stud. Now, this falls under the window, not like the door, we can't take this out. This turns into a cripple stud because you need to maintain that stud placement even under the window. Now right here, this one, remember we go 3, this becomes the cripple stud also. Now we have our window placement done exactly right. So what I will do is I'm going to transfer that data to the top plate. Transfer that data so then when we have put in the window, we can make sure that we get everything lined up correctly. Now we have that done. Now our next step would be to pound in the studs that are not involving the actual window opening. Once again, as I explained in our last video, I'm going to hand you a pile of studs and you need to do a little cross-checking on these. I cut thousands of these every year and sometimes there's mistakes made. Students help. Sometimes there's mistakes made where some of them are cut a little bit long or a little bit short. So you grab your pile of studs, tap them down, take a look. This one right here is short. This one right here is long. The rest of these, even though they're just slightly off, those will work just fine. And also need to check for thickness. Sometimes the thickness gets off. The center one is good. These are a little bit thin. They'd work, but no, we want them all pretty much the same. So check for thickness also. So now, once we have that done, what you're going to do then is you're going to take a nail on every one of our just plain studs. You're going to start a nail. You're going to start the nail right here on all of our studs like we've done in previous walls. You're going to start that. Remember, every line X, don't touch the window as of yet. So we'll start all those nails on the line X's. Then what we will do is we will take and nail in a stud. We will nail all of our studs in place. We'll keep nailing those across the board until we get this done right here. If you notice, this area is void because we need to actually make the window, then we'll insert it into place. So I like to do this task first. Each one of you will develop your own techniques. This is just my technique as far as doing it. I think it works out pretty good. So now, once we do that, all right, I just want to refer back to our drawing. Our drawing is where we'll get some of our measurements from going forward. All right, and I will refer back to this drawing. But here's kind of a mixed wall. Look, see how I have it laid out? When I see a cripple, it's indicating a window. No cripples indicating a door. So you would only pound in if you're doing this one, and this one. You'd only have 3 studs in there if you're doing a mixed wall. Now, once again, this is drawn more to scale. All right, this is drawn more to scale. This is a very big window. This is a 6-foot window. If you notice, this one is more of an average size window. So don't fret if you think yours is too small. You're doing it to actual scale. So now, what we're going to do is this handout that I gave you right here. All right, this is how we made the door. Here's how we're going to make a window. The first thing we're going to do is we will find some scrap wood. Use scrap wood, not the pre-cut studs or the plates. Find some scrap wood and we're going to make a header. Now, if we take a look at the sheet right here, we have 2 boards here. Remember how they're stacked together? This is how we make a header. So you have 2, 3 headers. Now, where do I get those measurements from? One of 2 ways. If we notice, the header right here goes between the king studs, so I would measure between king stud, and I can get my measurement that way. or you can take it right off your drawing. So what you're going to do then is you're going to cut 3 header boards, all right? First step is make a header. So now take 2 of those boards and pound them together. So I need this third one to go into the following steps. So I have my header made. Number 2, cut sill plate. Where do I get the length of the sill plate from? Off from my drawing. Take it right off the drawing, and there would be my sill plate, wouldn't it? Now, as long as we're going at it, what we'll do is, we notice there's a cripple stud right here, so what would I do? I'm going to come down and I can transfer the data right to the sill plate, cripple, 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 transfer that data right from our drawing onto there. So the next step is make cripple studs. Once again, where do I get the length of my cripple studs? If you're following my plan, the drawing is right here. You can find that out. Now the cripple studs can vary a little bit according to whatever you have. If you take a look at the height, remember the sheet I gave you? The height of the window depends upon the location of where it's in the house. If you have a bathroom, you probably want it much higher for privacy. While in a living room or a great room or something like that, you want a big old bay window. In the dining, you want to be able to see outside. There ain't no sense in having a window this low because you won't be able to see. So the length of the cripple stud will vary. If we take a look at this one, this cripple studs are considerably longer than what we would traditionally have because this would go into more of a privacy kind of setting. So look at this sheet, and this sheet will give you some roundabout ideas as far as how to do that. Now, I take the measurement from my drawing, all right, take the measurement from it, and I cut 3 cripple studs. So my cripple studs are right here. I'm going to cut those. So now I made my header. I cut a sill plate. I cut the cripple studs. I'm going to cut the trimmer studs. Now on our trimmer studs, everybody's trimmer studs will be 6 1/8. If nothing else, you can look at this, or you can look at your drawing, take the measurement from your drawing and cut 2 trimmer studs. Remember, we're cutting, those can be cut from the pre-cut studs. All this other stuff should be cut from the scrap wood. So now I follow my plan, I cut the trimmer studs. Now what I want to do is I'm going to nail the cripple studs to the sill plate. Remember when we marked out the sill plate? So I will nail these together. I'm going to nail those, nail them. This will form my, for the cripple studs. Now, take a look. They're tight right here, but that is at 16 inches on center. So we nailed this to the sill plate. Now, step 6 says, nail the trimmer studs to the cripple. All right, so we're going to nail those trimmer studs right in place. There's even the picture to show you. So now we're going to, on step 7, nail that individual trimmer header, nailed to the top. So look at the picture. Now what we're going to do is set this aside, and we're going to nail this right here, header, to our king studs. So now once we do that, let me just rearrange this back again. We have this right here. And now what we'll do is we'll nail these together, and we're going to set this right over the top of our window. Now we'll just do a couple nails here and a couple nails here. That's all you got to do. Even the cripple studs don't nail right here. Those will be nailed from the top. So now that we have our window constructed, we're gonna go back to our wall that we nailed all of the regular studs in. Here would be our window that we constructed, and we'll take this and drop it right into place, and we will nail from the top a few and nail all these individual studs. So now that we have created a sidewall, or specifically a window, because yours might be a little bit different, maybe you have a door over here or something, or two windows. This is how we construct a window. When you're all done with that, what you will do then is bring this back up to me. This is side wall. We did a blank wall here. We did a door wall here. And now the side wall, this one building side wall has a window in it. And my side wall 2 will have another window in it according to my design. If you have any questions or inquiries, please ask. Otherwise, if we're virtual, take a picture of it, send it in so I can grade it. If we're here, you bring it up, and we'll grade it with the rubric. Thank you. Have a good day.